Hello there, Mike Goldenberg with some Druid Karn Oko. I won the die roll. I have, if I draw a land, I can Karn turn 2. I think that's worth it. If not, I'm Karn turn 3ing on the play. That's pretty strong. Okay, that's really good for me. I think I'll shock here. Let's go blue in case I draw Teferi or Oko. So next turn I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I draw a land, I can lattice lock my opponent next turn, or I can just grab liquid metal coating and start blowing up their lands. I think I like that better. And then plan on lattice locking them turn 4. Okay, we're up against Abzan. Don't know what exactly, but Abzan's something. Alright, check out my hand. So I have 6 mana, which means I can lattice lock my opponent, but then they just kill here. I can drop a Worm Coil, but they're a white deck, so I'm a little afraid of what they could do with that. So I think I'm just going to play Shalai and Elf. And I think I just want a plus. I have no good target here. And next turn I get to start going off with Shalai. What I could have done is I could have finale'd for Druid, but I don't think Druid's how I'm going to win this game. I think I'm going to win through Karn. I assume my opponent's on some kind of Abzan taxes list, so kind of just have to respect being taxed to death. Okay. Huh. That's brutal. Alright. Alright. So I have a flying blocker. I have 4 available mana. Sorry, 5 available mana. Do I finale for Druid now? I think I might be interested in that. So I can lattice lock next turn, or I can just bridge my opponent. But I have a lot of options here. If I draw Vizier, I just straight up win. But grabbing Druid just as means of just pushing forward not only a win condition, but also my mana, which is important with Shalai in play, important with Karn in play. It's kind of neat. Tide Hollow Sculler is affected by Karn right now. So if he had some extra ability from like an enchantment or equipment or something, couldn't use it. That's kind of really, really funny. So what opponent needs to do is flood the board right now, so if I lattice them, I can't do much. Like, alright. Nothing? Alright, so collected company is something I'm expecting, something like that. Instead I just win. Can untap the white source and the Arbor Elf. And the opponent would need 2 Path Exiles to win. Okay. That works. Can I do anything in response? No, but I don't think my opponent knows that my Shalai stops that, right? Okay. That's what you should have done first, right? Okay. How many ephemerates do they have? Yikes. So I have my win conditions in hand in play. Like they can bounce my bridge. They kind of have to bounce bridge, right? They have to kill Karn. But they can't because Flicker Wisp was flickered, so they can only put him down to 1. Okay. I feel fine here. Like I can just win with Shalai once Shalai comes back. You can take my liquid metal coating. I think that's fine. Doesn't do a ton. Yeah, I think they should have bounced, like... I don't know. I think they should have attacked. I don't like that sequencing. Now they're just dead on my turn. Yep, give me back my Shalai, give me back my bridge. I have 5 attackers and make all my creatures 16/16s. I can attack in, or I can also lattice you. I can also get Ballista, it doesn't matter. That's what I want here. Knight of Autumn's maybe something I'm interested. I think I want the paths, though. I don't even know if I do. Yeah, I don't think I need them. I think I'm just good as is, just being a Planeswalker control deck with 2 different combo engines. Like I could have beaten my opponent with either the Karn, or the Shalai there. Of note, Flicker Wisp bouncing my lands makes Arbor Elf a little bit weaker. Got to be a little careful with that. No land, easy mull. 2 land, keep. Yeah, Arbor Elf is such a good mana dork. Does really tax your mana base, but really like Arbor Elf as a mana dork. Like if I draw a Utopia Sprawl, I can Karn next turn. White, white. What's white, white? Thalia? I think I want more land. I think it's what I say, like in every. I think I just say that a lot. I think I want more land. The reason I'm F6 here is because I have a second Druid already in hand, so if they path my Druid, I'm not going to be minusing through the cute little trick where I put it in my graveyard. I actually would take the extra land, so that, because I am pretty mana hungry right now. Karn, when I want to drop 6 drops, I'm pretty interested in getting lands in play. Vial on 2, 3 mana in play. Plague Engineer. Okay, you can either name human and make it so I can't play Vizier, or you can be foolish and name my elf and probably die here. Okay. Should have named human, buddy. Violon 2, what can they flash in that could mess up? That's these colors. Like, Merfolk obviously has their 2-drop that can make a creature lose abilities until end of turn. But what does my opponent have here? It makes it so they're not just dead right now. Well, opponent, what do you got? Charming Prince. Now they're going to reset it to what? Cleric. There you go. Unfortunately, because I didn't get a second white source. I'm going to do this when they can't ephemerate in response. And I'm not going to play Karn, am I? I think I'm just going to play another Druid. Pass. This line puts me weak to Tidehollow Sculler, but protects my Karn on my board. And it also gives me more out. So even if they, like... Yeah, this is fine. Like, I feel like if they're going to Tidehollow Sculler me, they would have done it right then. Don't care. Alright. Cute fun thing is because of Oath of Nissa, I can actually drop Oko right here. So, like, if my opponent had, I don't know, a Pithing Needle on Karn, if they had some way to protect themselves from my Ballista, Oko can really kind of mess with that. So, there we go. Let's go over the deck list real quick. Not that, need this. So I'm pretty happy with this list. I have been maybe convinced to lower the number of Viziers for more e-call. What that does, that makes post-board siding a little bit more interesting. Because you have to choose if you want e-call or finale. Generally I lean towards finale because in interactive matchups it can buy back dead things, which is pretty huge, especially when you start limiting the number of Viziers in your deck. I am on 2 and 2 instead of 3 and 1 because I do like Oath of Nissa having chance of hitting Vizier. I also don't want, if my single Vizier gets pathed, I don't want it to just be locked out of a game with being able to do that. Cards I'm very happy with so far. Liquid Metal Coating's been pretty good, especially in this current format. Just being able to minus for Karn if Karn's a little safe is good. Oko has been really good with Oath of Nissa and just in general as an extra turn 2 threat. I can just stick and kind of take over games. Knight of Autumn has been losing steam with me. I'm not as in love with it as I used to be, but I do have a decently rough burn matchup. So that Knight of Autumn does some work post-board, especially with the e-calls and the finales. My burn plan is Oko, get mana. Focus on getting mana, then Oko gets food, and eventually get a Worm Coil in play or something like that. So that's the deck list. That's the matchup. Pretty happy with this mana base, running 21 lands. You can see I'm still pretty mana hungry, even with my 8-12 mana dorks. I do have a pretty big top end, and I'm pretty happy with how this has been playing out. As always, I'll see you guys on the next one.